the Everglades National Park. Hello again everyone and welcome. I'm Jamaican Youth, and in this video I am giving you a tour of the Everglades National Park in Miami, Florida. This park is also called the Everglades Safari Park, which essentially, when you take this airboat tour on the Everglades wetlands, that's essentially what you're doing. You're kind of doing a little safari. So I came here in June 2021 just to visit Miami, have some fun, check out a few places. The Everglades National Park was one of those places, and it was good. It was great. You know, it was fun traveling on that airboat, even though it's kind of noisy, but I understand that it needs to be. And kind of traveling around and seeing the wetlands, you know, it's kind of interesting. It's one of the largest wetlands in the United States. And actually, I found out that in the 1800s, they wanted to drain out all of this wetlands, or all of these wetlands, to build residential buildings on it to serve the population, the growing population of Miami at the time. But they didn't sell it, or they didn't drain it, and now it is preserved as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, because it's one of the largest wetlands in the United States. It's also one of the largest national parks in the United States. It's an ecosystem within itself, and you know, I know here the alligators are the attraction at this park. You know, that's what everyone comes to see, in addition to enjoying seeing the Everglades, seeing the wetlands, and just kind of experience what that is like. It was a really wonderful experience. The tour guide there gave some really nice information, and you'll hear him talk about some of that in a second. But you know, it was nice going out there, seeing some of the alligators, taking the airboat tour, and you know, just being out there and being one with nature. You know, going out in the wetlands in a way that you probably wouldn't be able to do if you weren't on a boat like that, you know. And it was interesting seeing it, because it looked like lands. It looked like actual land, but it's, you know, a few feet of water under there. I think at this time the tour guide was saying that the water wasn't as deep at this time of the year because there was not enough rain falling at the time, but that will change later down in the year when the rainy season kind of picks up. But it was cool. You can see all those people taking pictures, you know, taking videos of it. It's a nice experience. You should try it if you ever get the chance to get out to Florida, you know, even if it's just for, you know, a few hours out of your day. You know, you can definitely get on the Everglades, do an Everglades tour, and they're all over Florida. Actually, I did one in Orlando before, but this one is the largest one, the Everglades National Park in Miami. So yeah, let's listen to the tour guide tell us some facts.
He should come back up. Yeah, this guy's pretty good about coming back up. He kind of knows us because every boat comes around here, and they're very territorial, guys.
There he is.
His home, if you can call it a home, is right over there, that little island right there.
There he is.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, Choppy! Guys, I want you to know that if he does jump in the boat, please remain calm and don't worry, guys, because I will be safe up here, okay? Okay? No, they never jump in the boat. All right, guys. So let's take a minute. He'll come back up. He's pretty good about that. Like I said, we get to know them by territory. That little island over there, by the way, the long islands are called hammocks. The small ones are called head. Very first, early, right in the morning, he's usually there. And then he comes out and he swims. Basically, 200 yards in any direction is his territory. And he does defend his territory, by the way. There's a young female that lives back here. I've seen him, and this is why I call him, okay? Because I've seen a big alligator with a small alligator. You're never gonna see two males together, not a big one with a small one. So when you see a bigger one with a smaller one, you know you're dealing with a male and a female. And oh, there he goes. Look where he came up. So he outsmarted you guys. Kind of swam away from us. There is a younger male, a smaller male, that lives about, I'm going to call it about 300 yards in that direction over there. And he has on various occasions tried to muscle in on his territory. By muscle in, I don't mean just the physical territory, but on the young lady. And he basically has always let him know, no, you don't belong here. And he pushes him back out. And that's why I know that he's a male. I have not actually seen the female in about a month and a half, which basically tells me that they made it, and the female built her nest somewhere back in the hammock, and she's taking care of it. 400,000 alligators here in the Everglades ecosystem, about 1.5 million alligators in the state of Florida. And while the state of Florida does have the largest population of alligators, they are found in both southern states. U-shape for the alligator and V-shape for the crocodile. So that is externally a way that you can tell the difference. My favorite way of, well, actually, you're going straight to him. That's where he's at. Getting right in front of you. No, he recognized him. All right, guys. So at least he didn't run him over. That was what I was afraid.
No, so you hit alligator with a fan boat and it damaged him and hurt him?
It won't. It's a flat. All of these boats are completely flat bottom, and they have that really strong exoskeleton on their back, and it wouldn't really harm them. I can't imagine it would feel good for them, but you know, it won't harm them. So anyway, so as I was saying, so we have both the alligators and the crocodiles. It doesn't happen anywhere else on the planet. Now, alligators are also freshwater, which is what we have here, and crocodiles are saltwater. So the crocodiles really are on the southern end of the pond.
So there you have it, everyone. It was kind of close to the end of the tour right here. There wasn't much more that we saw. We saw a few more alligators in the water, in their natural habitat, which is what we really like seeing. But eventually, after this tour, we're going to get to a show, an alligator show, where somewhat of an alligator show, where they kind of show some of the alligators that they've captured and use for display, where we can kind of get a better shot, a better view of them. The tour guide, he gave us a lot more valuable information, but the boat was on, so you couldn't hear a lot of what he was saying. Here he was kind of talking about some of the fruits that actually grow on the trees here. I guess they're kind of like swamp fruits, you know, and they grow at a certain time of the year, but they're not edible for humans. It was just kind of telling us, you know, that those are some of the things that are growing on the trees at this time of the year. But it was a cool tour. you kind of get to see the greenery. I did see some other type of wildlife, some birds that are specific to this area. You kind of get to see some of the areas that are a little bit more swampy here and everything. But this was kind of towards the end of the tour right here, and we kind of just looked around to see if we could see any of the birds specific to the area and look at some of the fruits. And here we're going to a little show with the alligators that they have here. Let's listen.
That beautiful smile. They all have 80 teeth, 40 on top and 40 at the bottom. They're able to go for about 3,000 in their lifetime. Knock them out, grows right fast. Okay? Also, they have a lot of power in their claws. Okay? Let me see if I can demonstrate with the big guy. Greedy. Greedy. Wake up. Like that.
Oh!
A very small example of the 2,000 pounds of pressure that they all have. Okay? With that kind of power, they're able to break through the shell of a turtle. Their main diet out here is fish, birds, and turtles. Luckily, we are not part of the menu. Alligators are born with a natural fear of us. They want nothing to do with us. With that said, there have been accidents in the past between alligators and people. But if you research those accidents, you're going to find out that the alligator has always been provoked. And what I mean by provoked is that at one point or another, somebody fed a wild alligator. Once you feed a wild alligator, that wild alligator is not afraid of anybody anymore, and that's how those accidents happen. Now, a big question I get out here is what's the difference between the alligator and the crocodile? They're all alligators here. Alligators have a round mouth. Crocodiles have a pointy, V-shaped mouth. Alligators have a tongue. Crocodiles do not have a tongue. The American alligator and the American crocodile are definitely the same size. But in other parts of the world, the crocodile is definitely bigger and much more aggressive. Now the nose, the nostrils are right over here. They're able to smell a wounded animal from roughly a mile away. When an alligator gets into a fight, they're able to bring their eyes inside of their head. That way they don't lose their eyes in the fight. Here's what that looks like. I know, it's disgusting. But as you can see, it doesn't hurt them, it doesn't bother them in any way. Again, totally normal for those eyes to go inside of their head during a fight so they don't lose their eyes in the fight. Okay? Now these guys also have an extra eyelid that opens and closes sideways. It's called the nictitating membrane. That extra eyelid, when it's underwater, it closes, it keeps the water from getting to their eyes, but they can still see their prey in the water, so it works out fantastic for them. Now directly behind their eyes, even as I pointed out, it's really hard to see, but these little cuts back here, those are their ears. When these guys go underwater, the ears close up real tight to keep the water from getting in there. But the most important part of the alligator's body are all these bumps back here. They're called osteoderms. And the reason that the osteoderms are so important for them is because that's the part of their body that acts like a solar panel. A lot of times you see these animals just laying around under the sun, and what they're doing is generating body heat. They need to reach a body heat of 65 degrees or higher in order to digest their food, so if they eat something and they do not reach 65 degrees or higher, it's in their belly, it rots, and it makes them very sick. That's why that part of their body is so important. Well, with that said, are you ready to take a picture with an alligator? Don't worry, it's not going to be one of these. It's going to be a little guy. His name is Snappy. Never mind the name. I'm going to go get Snappy now. Stand right outside. If you guys want to take a picture with him, all you have to do is come see me. Just so everybody knows, the park does ask for $3 a person to take a picture with Snappy. I'm going to go get him now. Let me have everybody please stand up and make a line right where it says exit. I'm going to meet you there now with Snappy and George.